Hello, bonjour. Jan here. To anybody new, welcome to my channel. To everybody else, thanks for coming back. Today is Wednesday, the about the 25th, I think, of October. And it is horrible outside. It is wet, wet, wet. There's not a lot we can actually do when it's like the weather. I can't go for walks. I can't be doing anything in the garden. Not to say I haven't got a lot to keep me occupied, obviously. If some of you may have seen, I put a sort of video up recently telling you about a new project, like a mini series as I've called it, about living in France. And today I've got my first interview with a lady I know who actually owns a B&B here in the centre of Mayenne, our main town. So I'm excited but nervous about that, and I expect she's feeling similar. I'm hoping I might be able to show you her B&B as well, because it's absolutely beautiful. It's a very old building, lots of character. She may or may not want me to show it. I'm hoping that she might want to show people what it's like. Obviously she gets a lot of people staying there. They actually do what they call, I don't know, it's all basically they take their guests on trips to the northern beaches, the Normandy beaches, and they're very keen on talking about World War II and things like that, and they're very, very knowledgeable on it. So they take the guests when they obviously do like a package, and they pay to go and do that, and apparently it's very, very popular. Anyway, yes, so today that is my mission, to actually carry out that first interview. I have a few others coming, but I also wanted to point out that because obviously I'm relying on other people, and when they can fit me in to do these interviews, and also I've sent out questionnaires to the people that would rather not be seen on camera, it's going to take a lot of shuffling, planning, whatever you want to call it. It's going to take a lot of that to put this together, so I don't anticipate the videos coming out until December. I'm not even sure how I'm going to quite do it yet, because it's going to be a mixture of not live interviews, but you know what I mean, and questionnaires. How do I collate that? And also there's a lot of questions, so it's never going to be a short video. So somewhere along the line it's going to be a case of, maybe if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you might fast forward to the questions you're interested in and just find out what you would like to know. But I think overall, I think most people are just curious, like me, what it's like for people to live abroad, and in this specific case, living in France. I think sometimes it can be perceived on TV or in magazines and everything through rose-tinted glasses, if you like. They don't always show the real side of things, and I think this is why it's good to hear it all from the horse's mouths, so to speak. I was even thinking about making that my title or my thumbnail, maybe. I've been really surprised at response anyway. As I think I said before, people are quite willing to do that, and I think a lot of that is because we've come here, or quite a lot of people have come here blind, really, winging it and hoping for the best, and it's quite interesting to hear what people found out once they'd moved here. Personally, Duncan and I did a lot of research, so there wasn't as many surprises for us. Not to say things haven't come up that we weren't expecting, but yeah, it's been an interesting few years. Things have come up, as I say, that maybe we didn't expect, and life just puts obstacles in your way and things like that, doesn't it? And I expect that's what I'm going to find with a lot of other people as well. There are varied ages, all in different positions. I've got most of them, I think, are in the north of France as we are. There's one particular one that lives more slightly further south. So it'd be nice to hear her perspective. And of course the other questionnaires I've sent out are for people with second homes, i.e. holiday homes. So they see it from yet another perspective. I expect there's going to be things that are very similar to the way the rest of us think. But yeah, again, it's going to be interesting to see what they come back with. There's a couple of those that I'm actually going to interview when they actually come over to their holiday homes, and there's others that won't be quite come in here for a while, so they're filling in the questionnaire. So yeah, as I say, overall it's going to be quite a, in some cases I'm hoping maybe an eye-opener. So other than that, yeah, it's taken me a long time to put the questions together. It took me ages to find a thing online that I could actually have an interactive questionnaire that allowed people to answer online. And I ended up finding one on Google Drive. Being as it's not something I've ever done before. I was getting advice from people, but it's been a battle basically for me because I'm not computer literate, and it's taken me a while to find that. So all these things have taken their time, and that's why it's not been able to be done immediately. And I'm sure most of you know these things take a while. I've got lots of other videos also that are already going up that I've done things before. Most of my videos aren't on the day or within a short space of time, just because it can take that long, as I say, to get round to editing and putting it up. And if I've already got videos going up, I can't put them in there. So that's why sometimes I end up putting up 2 videos a week. Getting back to my normal everyday stuff, I went and I had my COVID jab because there's another variant going around. It was sent out that we could now go for another vaccination, and because I had cancer and because of my treatment, my immune system is obviously compromised a little. Touch wood, I very rarely get ill, but you never know. So I went and had that, and also they tagged it in with my yearly flu jab, which at the moment this is only my 2nd one, so I ended up having a vaccination in each arm, which is a bit uncomfortable when it came to bedtime, trying to lay on, especially for some reason the flu one really felt sore, so I'm sort of laying on that side as I always do first off, and that was a bit sore. Other than that, I just felt a bit tired. I haven't really had any side effects from them, so that was good. Sharon took me there because you never know what side effects you may get, so she each time I'll either drive her or she drives me, and then it's safer. So yeah, so that's done. Hoping soon that Duncan will get a letter to say he can go for his. Being asthmatic, I do worry about him. He doesn't, but I do. So yeah, other than that, what else has been happening? Not a lot really. Nothing out of the ordinary. Duncan's been working hard as usual. I've just spent, as I say, a lot of time up here. I've been thinking about my other channel, and I've changed the name of my other channel from FOPY'sCREATIONS, and it is now FOPYUpcycle, because I thought that was more fitting to what I do. Anybody that watches my other channel knows that I try to upcycle, mainly upcycling clothes that I've got in my wardrobe, and recently I have been altering clothes that I've got because as some of you already know, I have been trying to lose weight, and I was doing like a keto style sort of diet where I was really trying to cut right back on carbs, and I have to say it worked. I get a little bit hungry in the evenings, and I can have a handful of nuts and that sort of thing, but because I'm coinciding it, is that the word in? I'm sort of doing 2 things together. I'm doing the keto style, as in cutting back on my carbs and sugar, but I'm also doing intermittent fasting. So my last meal is in the evening around 6 or 7, and then I don't eat my lunch until around 2 o'clock in the afternoon the next day. And I do feel that's keeping me in a good balance. For about the last 6 months, I suppose, I've hit a plateau. With the holidays we've had and everything, it's up and down within a few kilos. I think that's quite normal though. And coming up with the winter, we all seem to want to eat more, don't we? But I'm trying to not do that, obviously. And I have sort of levelled out, crept up a little bit recently, because I decided, because I was getting so hungry, I'd allow myself some carbs at lunchtime rather than the evening, and then I've got time for it to burn off. And that does seem to keep me going a bit better. But I think the intermittent fasting definitely helps to keep it down. And also walking. I try and walk as often as I can. I've not been very good using my exercise bike, and I really should. It sits in our front room and I hardly use it, and that's terrible. So now with the wet weather coming, I've really got to start getting on my bike, just so I can make sure my metabolism keeps ticking over, basically. So yeah, anything else I can share with you? No, but I do think, going back to the interviews and my mini series, it seems to have had quite a good response. People seem to be quite keen on that, and I do understand that, because I think if I could have found, if I was even watching YouTube back then, if I'd have found someone that was talking to people actually living in the country I was going to go to, I think it would do quite well, because we all think we've been told what it's going to be like, and we think we've done all the research, but there's always going to be something that we haven't researched. Yeah, talking about my other channel, as I say, I've changed the name. Yeah, that's why I've gone off on a tangent. Where I've lost this weight, I'm going to show you the clothes that I've altered to fit me, because once upon a time I'd have gone out and think, great, I can go and get new clothes, but knowing how many thousands of tons of clothes that are going to landfill, I just can't bring myself to do that. And the clothes I've got in my wardrobe, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, and because I can sew, I'd rather change my clothes myself to fit me now, to last me a bit longer. So that's what I've been doing. So what I'm going to do on my FOPY'upcycle channel is show you the alterations I've done, and just talk about how I did it, really, because it really doesn't take that much. I know some people really haven't got any sewing skills whatsoever, but it might inspire them to give it a go, and when you think about it, you can save a lot of money doing that as well. So I think that's about it. As I say, look out for my FOPY'upcycle channel if you're not already subscribed. I mean, that's another thing. I think with Sharon and I've been talking about this word subscribe. I can't help but think YouTube needs to change that word. I mean, I certainly would have thought subscribe, as in when you subscribe to a magazine or something. Generally, it's involving money. You've got to pay for your magazines. You've got to pay for. Whereas for YouTube, it's free. Why don't they change the name to follow instead? Same as they do on Instagram, and things like that. You just click on follow, and it's just basically just you're a dedicated follower, not a fashion of someone on YouTube. I just think that would be better. Subscriber leads to people thinking it's going to cost them money, and they're reluctant to do that. And these things take a long time for word to get round. I keep trying to say it's free. I don't know whether people don't believe me or what, but you need to let people know it's free. but it's important to us. Okay, so I'm going to finish there. I've got things to do, as you know, and I will see you in the next video. As I say, look out for the interview about France videos. I think you're going to enjoy it. As I say, I'll see you in the next video. Au revoir.